packed and ready to go. So off to the Timbavati to host the Timbavati Safari alongside Alistair Smith, and yeah, a long road awaits. Here we go. Got a nice cup of coffee from Mug and Bean, filled up the vehicle, checked the oil, checked the tires, and all still good. And while I'm waiting at Alzu for Alistair, who is co-hosting this Timbavati Safari with me, I decided I'm going to give you a little bit of a background as to what the Timbavati is and where it is located. So the Timbavati Game Reserve is located on the border of Hoedspruit, which is in Limpopo, and Acorn Hoek, which is in the Mpumalanga province of South Africa. And it is adjacent to the Kruger National Park. And if for these of you who know the Kruger, the Satara region, the more central region of the Kruger National Park, this is where the Timbavati lies, right next to the Kruger National Park. And the great thing is that fences were dropped in these areas, therefore the movement of game is great, because animals move from the Timbavati into Kruger and vice versa, from the Kruger National Park into the Timbavati. And because Shinzela, the lodge or the camp that we use, is right up against the Kruger National Park border, usually that movement and flow of animal traffic from the Kruger into the Timbavati, these animals usually come straight through Shinzela's property before they disperse into the rest of the private game reserve. And this is absolutely great for game viewing, particularly elephants and big herds of buffalo, because there's great water, big dams, and a lot of dams on Shinzela's property. This attracts a lot of game. But a bit of history about this reserve. So the area used to be, well, actually still is owned by private land owners. And back in the day, what this land used to be used for around the 1950s, somewhere around there, is agricultural farming, and then the upbringing of domestic stock, so cattle, sheep, goats, all these kinds of things. And that's what used to happen in this area. But before these farmers or settlers arrived in the area, the Timbavati and surrounding area used to be pristine wildlife not destinations, but homes. And once these guys started pulling in and setting up their farms and their agricultural lands, the wildlife started obviously dispersing and moved away from these areas. And the reason for it is because of the human-wildlife conflict. Animals don't want to be around humans, and so they moved off. And then throughout the years, what people started realizing, while there were actually only 50 members who stood together, they actually noticed the massive change and the effect that what they were doing in this area had in what's now called the Timbavati Game Reserve. So what they did is they stood together and formed, if I remember correctly, I think it was called the Timbavati Association or Organization, something like that. And what they did, these 50 members started fighting against people like themselves who were using this particular area for agriculture. They wanted to restore it and bring it back to what it used to be, which was pristine wildlife areas and homes. And they were successful. In I think it was 1956 this all started, and these guys fought and they won. And thanks to them, myself, all of you, we can now go and enjoy beautiful game viewing in the Timbavati Game Reserve. If it wasn't for them and all their hard efforts to restore the Timbavati to what it is today, there probably wouldn't have been wildlife in this area. So thanks to all of you guys who fought hard all those years ago. The area is absolutely beautiful. Over 40 mammal species, over I think 360 birds. So if you're into birding, the place will be a haven for you. Yeah, many reptiles, vegetation as well. In an area that's about 55,000 hectares, the diversity of vegetation is just spectacular. Really beautiful destination. And another thing that makes it so special for me is that it is where my guiding career all started about 6 years ago. I got placed there at Shinzela, at the particular camp we'll be staying at, throughout my eco training years. So eco training is an organization that you can basically apply at or apply for, and you then do a field guide course. I did the full year course, and they placed me to do my practical part of my course at Shanzela. So I know the whole team there, I know the area very well, animals that move through I know very well, and yeah, I'm extremely excited to get back, and I hope that it delivers as it usually does. Anyway, but just got an update from Alistair. He's almost here at Alzu, so about to start up the engine and keep rolling. So hey guys, so just got to the Timbavati gate, and yeah, successful trip. If you look over there, that's Alistair. There's waving. Very cool. So yeah, we're about to head in here and go and host a 5-night, what we hope to be incredible safari. So let's go. So in the Timbavati now, and it's much warmer here, which is great. And yeah, I'm extremely excited to be back in this part of the world. I absolutely love this area. And yeah, the first time I traveled down this very road, you'll see, was just under 6 years ago. And yeah, I remember driving along this to my very first guiding job, if I may, at Shanzela. Yeah, words cannot express the feelings that I had back then, the emotions I felt, the thoughts going through my head. It was all just a bit overwhelming. And even till this day, I'm still traveling along the same road that led me into where I am today, and it's still just as exciting, and I just cannot wait to get back out in the field here. So let's hold thumbs, hope it's a good one.
Predominantly now they'll eat 3 lobes at the back. So 1, 2, 3, and go like that. That's the pad, and then the 4 toes. And with leopards, they've got protracted claws, so they can actually extend their claws, but they don't retract it. A little scrub here. See him there? So that's our Easter bunny in the bush.
Just got back to camp after our first afternoon safari, and always just so great getting back out there. And currently sitting here at tent number 7, way out far away from the main camp, so extremely quiet, extremely peaceful. I don't know if you can hear the insects calling, hyenas in the distance. Really, really spectacular. And yeah, day was off to a good start. Nice big herd of buffalo of about 300. A fairly large herd of elephants drinking at one of the main dams, and your Alice's vehicle, the other vehicle, saw 3 rhino as well, just before we enjoyed a lovely sundowner. And yeah, what a perfect start. Anyway, off to dinner.